Hello, guys and gals, and this is episode 41 of Vlog Friday. It's hard to believe it's been going on that long, but anyways, the thing I want to talk about that, is kind of different from the points we usually go over is I have a question. What's in a name? A name can be a very powerful thing. I mean, there are, celebrities, and you can say their name, and people are like, oh, yeah, I know them. Like, Keanu Reeves. You mentioned Keanu Reeves, they're like, oh, yeah, John Wick. And they're not likely to mention his appearance in Parenthood because he had a bigger role that surpassed that. But anyways, and you can mention like Bill Murray, comedic legend, and you can mention like sports players. Like I don't know the name of any sports players because I don't follow sports, but you could probably name a famous baseball star or someone and be like, oh yeah, I know them. So names are really important. So yeah. Also, in products, a name is important. Like, if you want a really fancy bag, then you're going to say, hey, I want a Gucci, or whatever they're called. I don't really know much about that. I know that there used to be Abercrombie and Fitch that was really popular, shirts and clothing, and Structure was a really popular place to buy clothes, and there's a place called like H&R or something, or H&M something. And the ad is like just these people posing, all emo, and it's like, I don't understand this ad. But anyways, so yeah, there's if you buy big name clothes, then, you get popularity because, well, stuff like that. And there's like Old Navy and, popular clothing. So it's a name brand. It isn't a knockoff. And it's good to have a name, and to basically know your name and basically take pride in it. Or maybe someone in your family is famous, or you have an uncle that works at Nintendo. I mean, it seems like everyone has like an uncle that works at Nintendo or something. It seems to be like a going meme these days. There's actually a game called My Uncle Who Worked at Nintendo, and it was like a horror game. Really, really fascinating. I watched Markiplier play it. But anyways, and that's another name, dropping a name. There's also famous YouTubers like Markiplier and Jacksepticeye and PewDiePie, all that. But anyways, and then there are like certain fandoms like the Super Mario Maker 2 fandom, and there's like DGR and Geek and of course Carl Sagan 42, and they all have a big following. So a name is popular. Having a name generates popularity, and you want to make sure that you have a genuine article. Usually, like especially, you don't want to be buying knockoff Gucci's or fake rings that turn your fingers green. So having a name is really important. But even if you aren't popular and don't have millions of YouTube subscribers, you're still popular. You're still important. It's still really important to be who you are, and that's going to tie into one of the later points. But the first point I want to talk about is depression and how it can really make a person feel. If you are depressed, then one of the ways to handle the symptoms, I always have to say symptoms because this doesn't help take care of the core problem. One of the ways to handle the symptoms is to do something you enjoy at least once a day and make sure it's something legal. And it is legal in Illinois to, imbibe the weed and stuff like that. I don't. I never will. But it is apparently legal. Actually places around here do sell sativa. Is that how it's pronounced? I don't know. I don't know anything about weed. But I'm not saying that people should do that. I personally would never do it because I feel it would impair my judgment, and I don't want to do anything that would impair my judgment, which is why I don't drink, I don't smoke, and I don't do really anything that some people would think would be fun. I'm just kind of a stick in the mud, But I really want to keep ahead of my judgment. I don't want anything to impair my judgment. And I feel that imbibing something like that would, so I don't really endorse that. Um, I do suggest that maybe you eat like a cookie or something, or maybe make yourself some French bread pizza or something, provided it's within your dietary wheelhouse. I mean, if you're a diabetic, you're not going to be wanting to chow down on cookies because, unless they're sugar free, because that can really mess with your health. I know firsthand from my mom because she was a diabetic. But yeah, and also if you have celiacs or something, you don't want to be chowing down on gluten. So maybe bread is out. I don't know. So just make sure that's within your dietary wheelhouse. So maybe it's best to watch a movie you really enjoy, like an old classic or just a cheesy horror flick, something that would make you feel better. Number two is there's always someone who cares, and that can refer to someone in the service industry because they are designed to take care of situations like that and to deal with mental illness and stuff. It can be your family, because everyone basically has a family of some sort that cares for them, and it can or it could be someone in the in your particular religious quadrant. I don't know exactly what to say because every religion has different holy figures, or maybe the equivalent of pastors that care. And so they are the equivalent of the service industry, I suppose. Anyways, so there's always someone who cares, and that is always important to know. And society tends to make you feel that nobody cares, but that's basically a lie that society perpetuates. Anyways, number three is if you are suffering from an affliction, there is no shame in seeking help, and that can refer to physically. If you break your arm, you're basically definitely going to want to go to a doctor and get that set properly. And it can also refer to mental illness. I realize that there are some mental conditions where you basically have to have medication to cope, and those are like bipolar, which used to be called manic depression. And then there's also like paranoid schizophrenia. You basically have to have medication just to cope and to adapt, just basically to cope day to day. You need medication. Now, depression can be handled, and I know people who actually do handle depression without medication. They meditate, or maybe it has to do with diet. And I admire those people, but I also realize that there are people who can't really cope that way and basically need medication, and maybe they don't have it. So if there is a way to make you feel better, then there's really no shame in seeking that help. There's no shame in seeking help, or provided it's over the counter or legal, of course. No matter how bad things get, there is always hope. That's another thing about positive thinking. We're going to go more into positive thinking later, but it's always good to hold on to hope, even when things seem hopeless. Society also has a way of making people feel hopeless, and that's just the nature of society. You can have millions of followers on Facebook or social networking, social platforms, and still you can feel alone, especially with the virus and people basically having to social distance. It's really difficult, and it's easy to lose hope, especially when things can seem pretty hopeless, especially if you get a bad prognosis, a medical prognosis or something like that, and it's easy just to give up, and you should really never give up because there's always power in hope. Anyway, number 5 is societal labels and tags are pointless. People are people, and it's always good to remember that because it's easy to forget that. Society has a way of just basically tagging people as a certain way, and that can refer to religion, it can refer to sexual orientation, it can refer to social standing, it can refer to poverty, it can refer to a place where a person was born, and these labels and tags can persist, and it just basically, all it does is alienate people, and it just really isn't fair to people to basically label them as such. Even positive societal tags and labels can basically be detrimental, which means bad. Anyways, so yeah, I personally don't like societal tags or labels, but some people do, and hey, good for them. That's good. But personally, I try to avoid tagging people as such because it seems to put people into boxes that they don't really fit in, and it can basically make you miss out on a possible friend if you basically don't give someone a chance. It's basically just for some silly reason that maybe they can't even help. Anyways, number 6 is be yourself. There'll never be another you, and that's the power of individuality. Individuality is really super important, and that's kind of in the age of conformity, where basically society can tend to make you feel like you should conform to whatever other people believe. You should always believe what's in your heart, and even if it isn't a popular opinion, you should be yourself, and people will still love you just the way you are. It's just really important to find your little niche in society and really roll with it. That's why I encourage people to have a YouTube channel so they can get their opinions out there, because hey, YouTube is free, and if you get enough subscribers, then hey, maybe they'll start paying you. You don't know. Anyways, so yeah, you should always be yourself and never be ashamed of who you are, because you are important and you're special. Anyways, special in a good way, by the way. Number 7 is always think positive thoughts, and that is the power of positive thinking. It has been shown through several medical studies, case studies, that positive thinking can have massive health benefits, including extending a person's life. People adapt better or adjust better to bad situations when they think positive thoughts. And I don't mean the sarcastic, positive it's going to be a bad day. I'm talking about genuine positive thoughts. And there are several books about positive thinking, one being The Power of Positive Thinking by, I don't remember who, but I know I have that book somewhere. Anyways, yeah, so positive thinking is really, really important. And there are certain worldviews that really view positive thinking in an even greater light. And it's just really good to have positive thoughts. And maybe that will help you to get through a really tough time if you think positive thoughts, and always hold on to that hope. Anyways, I'm going to probably end the video here. I know this one probably wasn't as long as the rest, but I tried to get my points across more concisely. And if this helped you at all, then maybe drop a like and subscribe if you haven't yet. I realize that like 96% of the people who watch my videos aren't subscribed, and I'm cool with that. I mean, if my videos are helping you, then that's awesome. I'm just glad to make them. Because I don't really have anything better to do, really, and I hope that they have a positive impact in some way on your life. But yeah, I actually care about everybody and hope that everyone is doing well. Anyways, I hope that I already said that. Sorry, let me wind forward. Okay. Anyways, if you like this content, then make sure you like and subscribe and ring the bell so you know when I upload. Also, if you want to support me in any way, or if you want to join the Discord server, all the information will be in the description below. As always, thanks for watching, everyone, and have a great day.